Alrighty, good morning, Misfits. Give me 1 sec. I already realized what I did, but there you are. Alrighty, it is 2 Thursday on the Daily Breakdown. I'm your host, Misfit Patriot, aka Zack Bonfilio. I don't know. It's technical difficulties. It's always technical difficulties. It's the unofficial name of the Daily Breakdown, but we make it work. Good morning, Eden, Cynthia Mangles, Bumba, Great Guy Gary, etc., etc. Okay, let me jump right into it. First of all, a few changes. Number one, I have a new chair. All right, and you probably wouldn't have known that, but eventually you would have been like, something's different. And it's because I had a gaming chair and it cuts off some of my guns, and I didn't want to cut off some of my guns. I wanted you to see most of the guns. Also, I don't play games. All right? We do shit for real here. All right, I got a great guest coming up real quick. Another change is I changed the name of the show. I probably should have told you this yesterday. I think I mentioned it. I changed the name of the channel from TMP Uncensored to Misfit Uncensored. And here's why. I'm tired of telling people, I'm tired of spelling it out phonetically. Every time I say TMP Uncensored, they're like, what? And I'm like, Thomas, Matthew, Paul. And I'm like, or Thomas, you get it? Misfit Uncensored. I know if you guys are typing in every time TMP Uncensored to find the show, you shouldn't be doing that. You should have already just subscribed or followed the channel, and you would have still got the notification because it is still the same channel. It's not a whole new channel. I just edited the name. Okie dokie. Now, we're about to bring on one of my favorite people, Gary Melton with Paramount Tactical. He is, I guess you could say he's public enemy number, at least top 3 for Candace Owens. I've been on his show a couple times. He did a pre-record from when I was on LFA. So if you saw that one, it was a really good show, but we have him live. So let's get right to it. Gary, sir, how are we doing?
Zach, what's happening, man? Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
I'm almost positive my audio is going to be all over the place. So I'm just looking for people in the chat to say he's too high or you're too low. But you did yell, but you did come in a little hot. Anyway.
I did yell.
Yes.
I did yell.
No, okay, that's much better.
Here, I'll talk normal.
Okay, guys. In the chat, if both of our audios sound okay, go ahead and give a thumbs up. If I need to adjust anything, I will be watching. Gary, why don't you start off, because, you know, new / old audience here. Not sure if people have seen our interactions before. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about what you do. I know we've already gone over this before, but give everybody the you know, your little bio thing.
I grew up in Texas, grew up in Beaumont. 9/11 happened a couple days later. I was in the recruiting station, ended up with the 101st as a sniper team leader during the initial push into Iraq. Came back, went special operations, went to selection, all those things. Ended up at 1st Special Forces Group, did 3 more combat tours, got out in 2011, did another year with 20th Group National Guard, took a job as a special tactics instructor for Department of State Diplomatic Security. Did that for quite a while, took on another gig where I was going to embassies and consulates for doing security work. In about 2015, I got bored, you know, training government folks, and I had access to a lot of guys with my same kind of background. And so we started up Paramount Tactical Solutions. And then, you know, we're just kind of doing that on the side. And then long story short, I got tricked into doing some YouTube stuff. The business really took off from there and went full time in 2023. And really just did kind of guns and gear. And then I started doing a live stream every Wednesday talking about conservative politics, 2A content, things like that. And then the first kind of time I dipped my toe into anything like this was with the Butler assassination attempt on President Trump. And then ultimately, you know, Charlie Kirk. I'd been following Charlie Kirk for a really long time. You know, I wanted to get to the bottom of that. So I started investigating in that. Went to UVU, actually paid to have a 3D drone map made. So we have a 3D model. It's free. It's anybody that wants that, we can get you a couple different versions of that. But long story short, you know, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, by day 2, we started getting flooded with all these insane conspiracies. Palm gun, tunnels, Bushman shooter over here, just flooded the zone completely. I think poisoned the well from the get go. And then around November, toward the end of November, I saw what Candace Owens was doing, and I was
Yeah.
horrified by that. And I just felt compelled to speak out. And of course, now she's kind of created this orbit of fellow grifters that are just picking Charlie's bones and capitalizing, exploiting everything that he's doing, he has done, and destroying his family, his life's work, his legacy, and it ties into a much larger psychological operation that's political in nature. And I just think it's really important that people understand what's going on.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Give me one sec. I just want to make sure I'm not hearing double audio because I'm looking at double.
No worries.
Psychological operation that's political nature, and I just think it's really important. Nope, it sounds pretty good. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm always sketchy about the audio issues because you know what happens when, I mean, I'm sure you know, but I think you have a producer or somebody. But
I do everything here.
Okay,
I
so
have a
you do know.
producer, but basically what she does is book guests, and
Does
she does
all-
other
yeah.
things too. I don't want to diminish,
So
but it's just me.
I'm sure you maybe hasn't happened to you, but it happened to me. I'll like do a whole show and then I'll watch the replay and then I'll be like, "Oh, son of a bitch, he was low," or there was an echo, and I'm looking at the chat and everything. So like I have this paranoia because
Mhm.
this is going very well, and I didn't know why. So I mean, based on your little resume there, I guess you're just a bit of an underachiever. I mean, what lazy bitch. Um, so no, I mean, I already knew all that about you, man. I mean, so as far as the conspiracy things go, so this I do on my show 2A Thursday. That's why I want to have experts in the gun community. Talking to Mike from Sons of Liberty about having him on. Carl Higbee might be coming
Great
on.
guy.
I want to get yeah, I know, I love him. I live right up the street from him, by the way. I know him. He's one of my good
Yeah.
buddies.
Mike's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. I met him right when I moved to Texas. So I wanted to have the like people from the gun expert community, but also you've crossed over into my world, right? Because I'm a call out creator. That's essentially what I've always been. I've always been a call out creator, where I see bad behavior, call it out, right? So I did the same thing as you. Essentially, called out Candace. I've called out people that were pushing the conspiracy theories about Butler, et cetera, et cetera. But I've also noticed that conspiracy culture has really got its hooks in. I would say mostly just to the online discourse, right? Which bleeds out into the real world a little bit, but it's not. It's definitely. People say it all the time. The internet's not real life. No, it's not real life, as in it's not a reflection of real life, but it affects outside. It's like it's not contained. It's not a bubble. And what I've noticed is everything is something, right? Everything is something. So you saw the Hayden Panettiere died the other day, right?
Yeah.
First thing I see is, oh my God, Hayden died at 36. 3 months ago, she came out and dropped a bombshell about the Hollywoods and creepy people and all. And I was like, did she drop that? I mean, I think Corey Feldman dropped that. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Diddy is. And she never named a name. But because she said in her book, oh, there was this one time on a boat where I got put down next to a guy, an older rocker, didn't even say who the rocker was, didn't say where the boat was, etc. No details. People are like, she got murdered. You know what else she says in her book? She struggles with addiction and depression, right? And then sure enough, 24 hours later, you hear the 911 call, Narcan, overdose, CPR. So I don't think that there's any problem in asking questions or being curious or having a guilty pleasure about conspiracy theories like, aliens, whatever. But when it everything becomes something, everything is nothing. And it's actually ruining the online discourse. That's why people like Ian Carroll, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, Stu Peters, all the it's the Jews people, they all do need to be called out, right? Which is why people like you and me are necessary.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it really does, again, it poisons the well, right? So like you have to, like, there are real conspiracies. We should always be skeptical of the government, but my God, man, be skeptical of online personalities as well, because they lie 10 times more than the government does. And they do it with zero accountability, and there's a lot of incentive. And as you touched on, there is Like, this is the conspiracy gold rush, and everybody sees what Candace is doing and how successful she has been at it as far as making money off of this thing, and just presenting wild speculation and just elements and figments of people's imagination forward as fact without any evidence whatsoever. I mean, I did a post the other day, like, has there ever been anyone that has been paid more for providing less over a longer period of time? We have 11 months. 11 months, and she hasn't produced one single piece of court admissible evidence.
No. I mean, and we're gonna get to that. Actually, you gave me a perfect segue because I got your page pulled up here. And was that a joke, or are you really having on Andrew?
No, I got Andrew coming on tonight. I mean, it did cost me $300,000, but
I figured he would have asked for 300,001.
I'm going to be crowdsourcing to replace that later, but don't worry about it.
I have a weird relationship with Andrew. I actually like him. Right? We've debated 3 different times. We disagree on a lot. I've called him out publicly. His wife has blocked me, but I do like him. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I like him as a person. I think that he's well-meaning, well-intentioned. And I always say, I go, he's not necessarily a grifter, but he's figured out how to make money doing
Yeah.
what he does. And I would say, and I think that he would take umbrage with this, but I think I'm right. I would say that he has exploited the term debate. Okay, like, I think that what he does is he would be a great lawyer, right? He has figured out how to have a conversation where he can expose people and he can trick people into, and he can manipulate people. It's different than what Charlie Kirk did, where it's because, like, he'll go on and he'll debate these OF models and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, dude, it's like, what are you gonna do next? Go challenge a bunch of kids at the playground to a game of pickup? It's like you're way overmatched for this.
Well, I will say, just to push back a little bit on that. Charlie got the same pushback, right? Charlie got the same accusations when it came to going to, and like, what are you doing? You're debating these dumb college kids.
I understand completely, and I think that's why I said it's a little bit different, because Charlie was actually going at least to an intellectual area, a university, a place where and what Charlie was doing was exposing why college is making you idiots, right?
Sure.
Like, I'm literally at your college, and I'm smarter than you, and I never even got a diploma. And this is why I'm being nitpicky. I don't really have that big of a problem with what Andrew does, but what I'm saying is, when you have a quote debate, a debate would be, in my opinion, a conversation between 2 people where either the person that you're debating's mind could be changed or the audience's mind could be changed. I don't think giving Candace Owens $300,000 did that. I think it actually had a reverse effect. You may disagree with me. A lot of people do disagree with me, but the way I see it is, he kind of validated her. So now, as you were saying, every other person is going to be like, if I'm crazy enough, if I'm sensationalist enough, if I'm this, if I'm that, if I say it's the Jews enough, maybe somebody will offer me money so that they can sit across from me while Patrick Bet David talks about, underwear promotions. Like, that's my biggest problem with it. And I said, if he didn't give her a dime, I would have loved it.
Yeah. Look, I do disagree with. I think so. The importance of the debate, no matter what happened, no matter if money was exchanged or whatever else, nobody, no matter what Candace did, nobody on Candace's side minds would have changed. Nobody on our side or Andrew's side, no matter what was said, none of our minds would have changed, because we actually use logic and reason.
Yeah.
What I think was important is that a lot of people look, Patrick Bet David, I have a lot of issues with that, but one of the things he pointed out later on was that there was around 200 million people that tuned in, and the vast majority of those people were people that were not, like, paying attention to this a lot. And I think that's what debates do. Just like a presidential debate, there's nobody on the Republican side that's going to switch over to being a Democrat and vice versa. But there are a lot of people in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think what Andrew did do for those of us the rational among us was expose the fact that she has zero evidence to back up anything. Like, it is based on thoughts, feelings, and like, I can think whatever I want. Well, nobody ever said you couldn't think whatever you want. The other thing that he exposed during the debate is the dichotomy or the difference between what she says in front of a camera where there's no one around her to change and how she frames things as fact
Sure.
compared to while he or any opposition is sitting across from her that's going to hold her accountable for what she says. There's a big difference there. So I do think it moved the needle probably more than we realize on that.
I would
And
agree with you if it was like the Trump Biden debate. I think that you make a good point, but I think that, to be completely honest, Candace didn't do that poorly, right? Like she definitely, for people like you and me that pay attention and
yeah,
know she's lying, but for the person that has never heard her lie before, they are just watching her version. Whereas Biden, it was like he was having a stroke on camera. But you know what? We'll move on from that. Like I said,
yeah,
I'm
no
being a
worries.
little nitpicky. I like Andrew. It's not the end of the world that he debated her. I really don't have that big of a problem with it. The
Yeah,
other
and for the record, I have philosophical and political differences with Andrew as well. I just think
Yeah.
he was the right person for the job. And the one thing that he did accomplish that nobody else could was he got her to the debate table. I've been challenging her to debate. Steven Crowder famously has been challenging her for months.
You had to give her 300 grand. That's the problem. I mean, she's quite literally the definition of a grifter. A grifter is a person who lies for money. You know, and speaking of, we're passing Fuentes here. I also, and I'm not, this isn't like me, like, trashing you or trashing anybody that does this, right? But again, just a little constructive criticism. I've said this so many times. I'm like, we don't need to elevate or even agree with Nick Fuentes. And if you're going to do it, put a caveat in there, right? Because what Nick Fuentes does is, Coleman Hughes pointed this out perfectly. He has two personalities where he's very intelligent. He comes off reasonable and changes up his thing so that he can grab an audience, and then people are like, well, it's when I'm agreeing with Nick Fuentes. Other people are saying the same thing. But Nick Fuentes is he's more of like the I would say Candace with a brain, right? Like he's Candace Owens with a brain. Candace Owens is a grifter, but she's also a crazy person who's not
Yes.
very smart, right? So that's the way that I would describe those two. And I was sorry, I was just looking for. Oh, I put it on a different tab. I'm an idiot. Here it is.
Yeah, and look, there is nobody that is more critical of Nick Fuentes than me. I'll
Oh,
tell you that
sure.
right now.
And no,
And,
you didn't do it. I'm saying
yeah, and what I was saying in that there was a built-in disclaimer,
no,
and it's
I
like,
saw that. Yeah,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
What other people do is they don't put that caveat in there. Like it's like when Nick Fuentes is exercising more courage and virtue than it tells you exactly where we are. You're insulting him here. I got that.
yes,
I
yeah.
got that for sure. Now, I pulled up this post because I'm going to we're going to I hope you don't mind.
No, not at
We're
all.
going to watch a 9-minute video of me doing putting a gun down my pants, walking up and down a stairwell. I decided I was like, I got to do this thing without clipping it, without cutting it, just straight through. You can see my dad bod. I know I'm getting pudgy. I'm gonna hit the gym, but I'm going to put. I did this because I've already done it before, and
Mhm.
every time I've done this, right? Somebody will it doesn't matter even if I was exactly Tyler Robinson's height, weight, if I did it in that stairwell, if I did it at UVU, if I took the shot exactly, there would still be people who
100%.
would come out and they would go, now do no, I can see, like they'd find something wrong with it. So last night, the first criticism I got was I was wearing baggy jeans. So last night, very late, right before I went to bed, I put on these jeans. I can't even close my zipper. These things are so tight, right? And I still put my rifle together, put my rifle down my pants, etc. So just to, it's not look at how tight these jeans are. Those things are 3 sizes too small. I gotta get back at the gym. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna play this. It's 9 minutes long. We can pause. We can commentate over it. Whatever you see or whatever you know things that you want to add. Let me just try to get. There we go. Here we go. Okay. And where is it? Of course. Of course. That's all right. I got it right here. Come on. The unofficial name of the daily breakdown is technical difficulties. Oh, it's loading. That's great. But yeah, so while we're waiting for this to load, I think that you and I already know this, right? The way Tyler Robinson pulled off what he pulled off was he broke down the weapon before, probably before he even left the house. I have it right here. This is a plate from my Ruger. It's 2 screws. That's how you pull the stock or chassis off of a bolt action rifle. It's 2 screws. It's in 2 pieces. The specs for the rifle I'm using are, I'll put them on the screen, but it's loading. Almost identical to the Mauser that Tyler Robinson allegedly used. I'm 5'8", 205. Tyler Robinson's 5'11", I don't know, 180, whatever, it doesn't matter. So we don't have the same body type, we don't have the same height, but it actually is more to my disadvantage because if you're skinnier, you can actually conceal it even well. If you're taller, you can actually conceal it even better. And in the video that's loading right now, I actually conceal this thing pretty well if you're not trying to find the gun on me because you know it's there. How often do we look at people's shoes? How often do we, if I asked you the last person that you were standing in line with at the grocery store, what color shirt were they wearing? You wouldn't know, right?
Yeah.
So the point is this video was not to be some type of exact representation of what he did. It's meant to show you that it's possible. It's meant to show you that if he did it the way that I believe he did, it's more than possible. It's actually likely. It's likely he had it in 2 pieces. The backpack was covering some of his printing. You can bend as you'll see in the video, you can bend your legs, you can walk up and down stairs, you can hide something pretty well, even if it's a full length bolt action rifle. Oh, I think we're good.
Yeah, and even the defense concedes literally in their post preliminary hearing brief. They concede that he actually had the rifle in the stairwell, and that's him, by the way. They concede that in that. They actually talk about that. So you know, it's this is the crazy thing is all these people are making all these defenses that the defense isn't using, including the alternative theories and all the folks. I'm just telling you right now, like his defense realizes that he did it. He's told them they did it. Like they've had all the evidence. You know, I have a short video. I think it's 3.5 minutes. It goes through and shows you all the lies that Candace actually told during her debate with Andrew Wilson. But like they've had all of the cell phone data since March. As of June 18th, one of the first things that they present that the prosecution presents is the fact that since June 18th, they have delivered 100% of all the evidence they have to the defense. And during that entire debate, Candace kept bringing up like, oh, well, they didn't even get discovery. They don't have this information. Those are just flat out lies. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Let's pull this up real quick. I'm having trouble with that frickin' thing, but I'll get it. Don't worry.
No worries.
But no, look at this was just introduced.
Yep.
The Utah prosecutors have responded to Tyler Robinson's defense filing ahead of the final preliminary hearing, and confirms what observers pointed out about the filing. The defense is very conspicuously not contesting any of the core evidence showing Tyler Robinson committed the murder. All they have is a complaint about reliable hearsay. This is one of the things that I wish Andrew had hammered more on Candace during the debate. He kind of did, but
Yeah.
if he had simplified it for the general audience, it would have been better. Candace kept on saying 1102, 1102, 1102. She kept on saying that preliminary hearings are the way she messaged it to your average viewer who doesn't know anything. She basically said preliminary hearings are all hearsay. That's not true, right? And Andrew didn't push back hard enough, in my opinion. And the 1102, there's a thing called reliable hearsay. Reliable hearsay is hearsay that's essentially backed up with evidence, right?
Right.
It's basically like, can I absolutely prove, that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk because Lance Twiggs said that looks like him in the video? No.
Yeah.
But collectively, when you add in the testimony of Lance Twiggs and the confession and all of the text messages and et cetera, then it's reliable hearsay. Does that make sense? So
No, it does. And most of that hearing was not actually hearsay, by the way.
Oh, I understand.
I don't know if it's worth it to you, but again, I got that 3-minute video. I kind of go through and show what's not hearsay. It's real quick. Maybe while that other thing is loading, you want to play that. But I point out the multitude of lies that she told during this and the deception and what she's trying to push to her audience. But yeah, it's like most, like all of the firsthand eyewitness testimony or the actual testimony was not hearsay. The physical evidence is not hearsay. And by the way, Lance Twiggs, the text messages were not hearsay. And by the way, the Twiggs testimony, while it is hearsay now,
Yes.
when he is in court, come the trial, and he delivers the exact same, providing nothing changes. But again, even no matter what, once he's on the stand and he's able to be cross-examined, that's no longer hearsay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, what technically isn't hearsay? Like, this is, we're splitting hairs. It's like, what isn't hearsay? If somebody said, I saw that person murder that person, is that
Yes.
hearsay? Right? I mean, it's testimony.
No,
It's
that's eyewitness testimony.
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, when reliable hearsay, the reason why they have this legal definition of reliable hearsay, which is the standard for the preponderance of evidence in a preliminary trial, is because it needs to be, okay, we have all of this smoke. Is there a fire? There's smoke here. There's smoke. So let's call hearsay smoke. There's a lot of smoke, in my opinion. And also the testimony from the experts about the DNA, a one in trillionth chance that the DNA is that hearsay? It's expert
Yeah.
testimony. That's what I'm saying. It's like Candace was trying to make it seem as though anything that isn't a video of Tyler Robinson in 4K shooting Charlie Kirk in the neck, holding up a sign that says, I'm Tyler Robinson and I did it, that's all hearsay. That's the way that she was trying to frame it. And that's the way that a lot of these people try to frame it.
It's a hell of a double standard for the evidence that she has. She says 0% with all of this evidence, but yet she's basically like, hey, it's a 100% chance that Israel, Erica, and yet we have zero evidence. So that's a heck of, like, I guess I can't believe anything she says unless I have 4K video of that actually happening. And we have zero
The
evidence.
funniest thing that Andrew has probably maybe ever done is when he was like, I'm gonna show the text messages on my show, and she was like, "You're gonna show? Why are you gonna show it?" He's like, "Cause I gotta drip that out. I gotta drip it out.
Stay tuned.
I gotta drip it out. I gotta drip out the evidence." Oh my god, I have no idea why this is not working. But I probably have to convert it. It's not a big deal. Let's go to that video you were talking about. And
Sure.
I will work on that behind the scenes for the next 3 minutes. Okay, it was on your page, you said?
Yep, it's pinned at the top.
Pinned at the top. Gotcha. Perfect. Okay, let me try to do something while this is playing.
They do not have to have hard evidence. They don't have to put people on the trial, swear them in. But no, that's why the entire hearing was basically hearsay.
Basically hearsay.
All of that's not hearsay,
Then we look at
folks.
the filings, which came from the defense, and they were requesting an extension saying, we have gone to the prosecution and we have requested all of this stuff in discovery.
Multiple times during the debate, Candace lied and claimed that the defense has not received all the discovery.
Is the latest report. As of June 18th, we had provided approximately 100% of the material in our possession. Over the last week, we have received additional materials from SBI due to preparation for this hearing. Those materials have not yet been provided, but they will be as soon as this hearing is complete.
Very adamant that his DNA was on the gun itself.
Lance Twiggs' DNA was not found on the rifle. Tyler was the major contributor for DNA on the rifle. Tyler and Lance's DNA was found on the screwdriver. Tyler was the major contributor, 89% versus Twiggs' 11%. Tyler and Lance's DNA was found on the screwdriver as well.
Yep. Majority of the DNA contributed to that sample.
Analyzed in this question in calculation number 3.
For this exhibit, the DNA profile was at least 1 trillion times more likely if it originated from Tyler Robinson.
1 trillion times
as the
more
major
likely.
component, and 3 unknown, unrelated individuals than if it originated from 4 unrelated individuals.
You say at least 1 trillion times more likely. So it could be a much higher number than 1 trillion. Is that accurate?
It's possible.
She lied about his limited use
But to
immunity.
allow it in that way for him to just be able to also have use immunity, knowing that he's not going to get in trouble. He could literally get up there and lie about anything, and he's not going to get in trouble.
That never happened. You're just making stuff up.
Any false statement you make and that you do not believe to be true may subject you to criminal punishment as a Class A misdemeanor. Understand that? Yes. It potentially could be used as for punishment as a higher offense as obstruction of justice.
All right, Lance Twiggs, if he lied during that, he would be actually charged. Also, that immunity did not preclude him from being charged for any other element of this case if he was found to be complicit.
That is not compelling to me for somebody who has use immunity to give a testimony and to say, I'm not really sure, but definitely like he wears jeans and stuff.
That's not what he said.
He did. Actually, you can get a fact check.
That's not what Lance Twiggs said. That was another lie.
It definitely, especially the last 2, definitely do look like him. Oh,
Yeah.
They do look like Tyler Robinson. It definitely, especially the last 2, definitely do look like him.
So a couple things we have. We have Rule 801, Tyler's messages, that says it's not hearsay. But first, go to what Candace is asking about Skylar. I think you have it. You just texted me if you want to pull it up. You said you have the text.
It was me. Look at the pictures from the surveillance footage. It
I
was
love
me.
how she didn't know
I
that.
literally said to you, it's not an oof.
You're just literally making stuff up. So here's what the position is. I'm asking this. What the position is. I'm asking this.
Okay. I thought it was hilarious how she did not even know that. But that's the thing, what people have focused on is like, oh, Andrew didn't know all 7 charges. It's like, no. Candace doesn't know facts about the case. And honestly, Andrew hasn't been obsessed with this case. So I wouldn't even expect him to know all 7 charges.
He hasn't made tens of millions of dollars pretending that he's the lead investigator on this and knows everything.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to try one final thing here. Just going to try to do this again. Please work. All right. Yeah, the thing about the I watched the preliminary hearing. I watched pretty much all 5 days. I was off work that week, so I was literally like glued to the TV just so I could get the most amount of information. And most normal people that aren't, going with some like type of tribalism towards Candace or conspiracy, just like committed to conspiracy. I watched that trial and I was like, if I had never heard of this before, I'm like, that guy did it. It's just like Brian Koberger did it. Just like Luigi Mangione did it. It's like these crazy, and by the way, Candace Owens, I think she defended both of them too. It's always the conspiracy is like, it's always something, because I think Candace Owens has figured out that she can tap into this monetarily. Right? Like Alex, like she looks at the Alex Jones model. And for the people that have said Candace will stop when she gets sued, no, she won't. Alex Jones was sued and he was found that he owes $1 billion.
1.4.
He owes $1.4 billion. Is he stopping? Have you seen Alex even slow down? This is a sickness. This is it's an addiction. They're addicted to proving something, because what happens is they get, I call it the 95-5 rule. I don't know if I told you this before. They're 95% right about 5% of the shit they say, and they're 5% right about 95% of the shit they say, right? So 95% of the shit they're talking about, there's like 5% truth, and then they have to hammer the 95, because what happens if Tyler Robinson is found guilty? What happens if it gets disproven? Well, they're a fraud, right? So they're literally betting on convincing people about that 95% of 95% of this is a lie, and I'm still going to convince you. So it's like an addiction to them. Please tell me this works this time. Yes, finally.
All right, guys. I'm going to be playing this on the Thursday show where
Okay, so I have finally gotten the video on the screen. We are about to watch. I'm going to have to make sure Gary can hear it. Let's put the background off. Okay, beautiful. Oh, that was aggravating the hell out of me. Okay, so I did this a couple days ago, I think it was, and let's see here. Let's just play and see if my audio is coming in. If Gary,
I believe Gary Melton from Paramount Tactical is going to be joining me. And we're just going to settle this whole how did Tyler Robinson blah 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 right now. We're gonna do the whole thing uncut. I might speed up some.
My audience can hear it, but
as long as they can hear it, play it.
Okay, you know what? I'll describe it to you. I'm gonna turn my mic off, and you know you actually don't even really need the audio. Not you, but they will. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna play it, Gary. You're gonna.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Parts, but I'm not clipping this video at all. Okay. So, right here, I have a Ruger American Predator. Now, you can fact check this. We'll probably put it on the screen, but the dimensions are almost identical to the Mauser that Tyler Robinson used. Okay, it breaks down the same way. 2 screws. I believe the Mauser is flathead, but this is a hex. Okay, take the mag out.
2 screws. And I'm going to.
Tyler left the screwdriver on the roof because
how long would you guess it
he put the weapon together.
To take it apart or put it back together?
Probably on the roof.
Take it apart.
Stairwell, like out of frame of the camera. And then
40 at most.
He didn't need to break it down because he wanted to get the out of there.
No, I don't have your audio.
I hate everything about my life right now. All right, am I back? Now I can't hear Gary. Motherfucker.
Can you hear me now?
Now I got you. Good. My freaking phone. I'm doing it again. Freaking. I hope I break it. My phone will auto connect to my soundboard for some reason. It's completely random. It's aggravating the shit out of me. Anyway, yeah, I didn't hear you, but if you were to guess, like over under, how long you think?
I would say 35 to 40 seconds to once you got the screwdriver out, you got it ready to go. 45 seconds.
Straight through.
30 seconds, something like that.
So there's no, there we go, accusations. Okay, so this is how you break down a bolt-action rifle.
So we're at about maybe 10 seconds so far.
Perfect. Okay, there's 1 screw.
And if I didn't get hung up there, it would have been quicker.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to take this off. I don't know if the Mauser has one of these little...
Or about 25 seconds-ish.
Now, I've already made a video similar to this. But
that's it. That's it. Guys, that's how you take apart a rifle. A lot of people don't understand how easy it is to take apart a bolt-action rifle. It's 2 screws.
After reviewing more footage, I think it's more likely he actually put it down his pants the other way. And everybody thinks
last time I did the video, I actually had the stock up by my shoulder because I didn't care too much. But this time, when we rewatch it, and we're going to put that image on the screen after this, it's far more likely he put the stock in just like I'm doing here.
I'm 5'8".
And the Mauser stock is not as wide as the American Predator, but who cares?
Let's give it a shot. And yes, we're going to walk down a stairwell.
Yeah, we're going to walk down a stairwell. And I did this whole thing. The reason why this video is so long is because I'm trying to do it so that there's no asshole who's going to be like, oh, what did you clip the video? Did you cut the video? I go, no, I'm just going to do it straight through.
So, we have now...
I no 2 takes. I did it first take. You can see I'm covered in shit from work. I didn't want to even bother with this. I wanted to get the hell out of here. I wanted to go lay on my couch after this.
See, there's an outline.
Like, there are people that would take like 3 or 4 days to set this up with tripods and bipods and mics and everything. I was like, I'm just going to do it.
To the chest. Let's go right about there.
Okay. Now, why did I put it right there? That's where the backpack strap's going to be. That's probably exactly what Tyler Robinson did. And we'll show you that. We'll zoom in on that image.
And the point here, too, is like there's multiple options that are viable for this.
Exactly. It might not even be this exact way. He could have maybe had them both by his side. He could have maybe had them on his backside. This way is, I'm just showing you it's possible.
Towards the back. All right.
So now putting that one towards the back.
Towards the back.
Even with the scope on
Okay.
it. And
Got
Gary
it.
will be able to tell you, if you tighten
There
down
it
your
is.
scope properly, that's not going to mess up your zero. There's no... People throw their rifle in the back of their truck and drive around over bumps and everything and still go shoot a deer.
I got more of a dad bod than him.
I got more of a dad bod than he does.
Because he's pretty skinny, he'd probably be able to conceal it a little better. But I'm still
And he
doing
would be able to conceal it better than me. And I'm still
pretty good
doing
job
a
here.
pretty good job.
All right, so
And here's the other thing, people like you kind of pointed out earlier. Like nobody's paying attention to people walking around something like this. You can walk around looking like this, and nobody would even stop you, think of anything. You could not even have a backpack and have lumps all over your body and freaking like nobody's paying attention.
Well, I'm going to pause this real quick because they proved that. They've done drills where they walked through New York City with a gun and it was blue, right? A blue dummy gun. They have walked down the street through a crowded New York City and nobody noticed that the person was walking with a gun.
Everybody's on their phone.
In the
They're not
open.
paying attention. Yeah.
print this
Nobody
one.
pays attention.
All right.
Zero situational awareness.
So here
know if
you
you
have
have this
me
clipped or not.
with a backpack
Maybe
on,
not.
with a rifle on my
do it
person,
clipped.
right?
We'll do it unclipped.
And if
Let's see if we can get that in a good spot.
yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Now,
Now I'm gonna
stairwell
walk
time.
straight. My stairwell's right across from my apartment. If you guys are trying to figure out the orientation and layout so you can come here, go ahead, dude. I will draw you a map.
Just hope nobody
Okay.
walks up.
And again,
Doing this.
the people that are going to be like, that's not the camera angle, this is just to show you that it's possible. I can even bend down and put my phone on the ground.
Ready.
And here we go. My fat gut popping out. My nice ass. Here's me going up the stairs. Pretty easy, actually. Not even looking like I'm limping. And I didn't need to grab the railing, but he did, so. And here's me going down the stairs with a freaking rifle. Wow. You know what? Actually, we can cut the video there because the rest of the video is essentially me just going back into the room and explaining, but we're here doing the commentary anyway. So, now, let's take a look at this. What do you see here, Gary? Picture of Tyler Robinson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I see. I see...
Definitely have a bulge on his right side.
Yep,
That doesn't make
that's
sense.
a cell phone. That's a big cell phone, dude. That is a pretty big cell phone, and I don't know.
Even at his 3 o'clock on his hip, right?
Yeah.
Like you can see that there is some asymmetry going on there compared to his left hip.
I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, and I threw my phone already. So on his left hand here, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it.
Our left.
Yeah.
His right.
Right there, that hand closest to my finger. If you go just slightly above that hand and look at his hip, his pants look like they're bulging out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Look, you can see the silhouette of something pushing his shirt out that way, right? And then furthermore, if you go here and look at the right to the left, or sorry, if you're looking at the screen to the right to the right of his knee, there's also a little bulge coming out the side of his pants. Could that be the barrel, the tip of the barrel pushing his pants out? The truth is, we don't know for sure, but if you took a picture of me with the setup that I just had on a grainy security footage camera, still shotted it, you wouldn't be able to tell that I had a rifle either. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell that I didn't have a rifle, but we would be doing the exact same thing. The point is, there is, I would say, a high likelihood that Tyler Robinson has a rifle stuffed on him right there. And here's the other thing. It's crazy that we even have to have these conversations, because why do all these conspiracy theorists think that he was limping? What was he doing walking weird, limping around? Was he just doing it for funsies? Like, nobody walks like that. Did he have some type of injury we don't know about? No. Like, so...
Well, in their retard, Jew-hating, broken brains, it is more likely that an exploding microphone occurred than Tyler Robinson was carrying a rifle on his person when he went up the stairs. Which, by the way, like his own defense team does not contest it. I just want to read this real quick. This is from the defense brief. This is what they say. The state presented no evidence to support any inference that the rifle was in pieces at any time. The video evidence shows Mr. Robinson walking up and down the stairs at UVU with a gait impaired by something long in his pant leg. So they're already saying that.
Yeah, yeah.
The reasonable inference from the evidence provided is that it was a fully assembled rifle.
Yes.
The presence of a screwdriver on the roof does not establish that the rifle was taken apart or put back together any more than it establishes that the screwdriver was intended to take the rifle apart after the shooting. So this is like, they said he's in the stairwell.
Yeah.
They're admitting that he is in the stairwell. They're admitting that he actually has a rifle. They're just kind of quibbling over whether or not it was disassembled or reassembled, which is hilarious.
I also saw something that his defense said, like, Tyler Robinson, they wanted to take off I think it was something like they wanted to take out the death penalty because Tyler Robinson didn't intend to kill anyone else, just Charlie Kirk. It's like, wait, did you just say that he was intending to kill Charlie Kirk?
They are like they're Andrea Burkhardt, folks. If you're not following Andrea Burkhardt on X, she's a lawyer. I think she's covered this most fairly, objectively. But that's what she's even saying. She's like, they have presented no affirmative defense that Tyler Robinson didn't do this.
Yeah.
Because they can't. They know that the evidence is
trying to keep him on death penalty. Yeah.
They can't present. People talk about the variance doctrine, the idea that, presenting an alternative theory. They can't present an alternative theory that isn't viable, that isn't backed by some sort of fact. They can't lie. So look, this is a trial of mitigation. They're just trying to mitigate the results, and really what they're trying to do is get them off of a death penalty. That's it, folks.
I mean, Gary, are you saying that feelings aren't enough? Like, Andrew Wilson was not allowed to tell Candace Owens that what about thinking? Thinking is also allowed, Gary.
Feelings, thinking, coupled with dreams.
Thinking and
become
feeling,
fact.
They are allowed. And also, one final point, because I'm ad nauseum. We've been debunking this, and we'll continue to if we have to. But I hope we chip away at it enough. The other argument from the people who just can't put two and two together is, why did he assemble the rifle and take it apart after he shot him? He didn't. It's so simple. You guys saw what I just did. I took the rifle apart before I went into the stairwell. Now, let's say I was on a roof. You put it back together one time. That's why he left the screwdriver. He didn't need it anymore. He ran off the roof with a fully.
I think he dropped it.
Well, he dropped it. But what I'm saying is,
do you know where
if he dropped it, he wouldn't go back and pick it up.
Exactly.
Wasn't it off to the side or at the top of the stairwell or something like?
So it was fifth. So he crossed over the guardrail, and he goes out of view of camera for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was literally like 15 feet from where we think he assembled the rifle. So it was literally on his way to, which was like 175 feet, something like that, to the actual point where he shot. But it was on top of the roof. That's where it was found with his DNA on it.
Yeah. So again, this makes perfect sense to regular people who aren't crazy. But let's just dumb it down like we're talking to a 5-year-old. He put the rifle together, right? And then he dropped the screwdriver or left it on purpose, either one, hopped a railing, went onto the roof, shot Charlie, and then ran away. It's not hard to figure out. It's insane that we have to tell adults this, because I swear I believe some of them believe it. I have a friend, like a guy who I'm like, I don't want to be mean to you, but I'm about to be mean to you, and I'm going to lose this friendship because he keeps on commenting under my posts, and I'm like, bro, I can't be friends with somebody like you. Like, I cannot be friends with somebody, because I said this on my other show the other day. I said, why is it that you see people on the left that will defend cutting off the genitals of a child, right? They will literally say that they will defend giving chemical castration drugs to children, the same drugs that we give to pedophiles convicted in prison, because they have to lie to themselves, because if they didn't, they would hate themselves. The people that are shaming Erica Kirk and trashing a widow and jumping on this lynch mob, this mean girl bully cult, if they're wrong, they're awful people, right? If they have to admit they're wrong, they are awful people. To them, they would know they are awful people. The denial is the only way you get through this, unless you literally are a sociopath. But if you're not a sociopath, which I think Candace might be, you have to be in denial to be a conspiracy theorist. Like, you have to, because it's one thing to talk about aliens. It's another thing to, like Alex Jones, with the Sandy Hook thing, the reason why he got sued, right? What he said was very hurtful to the families of and this is what I used to say to 9/11 conspiracy theorists. I go, how disrespectful do you think it is to the people that lost somebody in the Twin Towers that you're saying it didn't happen, or you're saying the Jews did it, or you're saying this? Like, how dare you take that away from them? It was radical Islamic terrorists who admitted to doing it, And it's just like Luigi Mangione, Brian Koberger. It's like, there's all these people that jump out right away and they defend a murderer. They go, I'm going to why? Because it makes me feel good to have a theory. That's the reason. That's how it starts. And then once you're committed to that, to go back on that, you have to go, oh, that was really insensitive. I was really awful. That was really terrible what I did. And most people won't do that.
Nope. I mean, even this lady that killed her three kids, like the insanity of these people.
They're defending, Candace Owens defending her too. I'm like, how are you people look, I'm not saying that if she killed her kids and she was on, there are plenty of mothers who have postpartum depression who don't kill their kids. All right. So screw that. But look at, actually, you know what? I got this pulled up. Look at what Owen Benjamin is doing right now to Andrew Wilson. I saw this earlier and I go, wow, dude. I go, this is no different than a leftist, right?
That's clown.
I'm not going to play the video. He is literally going through the death of Rachel Wilson's child and making a bunch of inferences publicly that something nefarious happened. This is disgusting behavior. These are demons. These are evil, evil demons. And for him, Owen, to come out and go, I'm wrong, he'd have to go, I wasn't just wrong. I was being a really terrible person when I did this. But yeah, I mean, so we've pretty much, we've debunked this, like I said, ad nauseum. We've gone over it over and over and over and over and over again. But while I got you here for 2A Thursday, I wanted to get your take on the short barrel rifles, suppressors, the huge 2A win. Yeah. This is probably, I would say, the biggest win of our lifetime, maybe. As far as moving
it's
the
big.
needle.
Yeah. I don't know. Heller is probably bigger, but it's pretty big. Yeah.
But so explain, I already know, but explain to my chat, because you're the expert. That's why I got you here. Explain to everybody what exactly happened, right? Because I'll give them the dumb version, which is essentially, we won a the Gun Owners of America won a lawsuit, and now you don't have to pay a tax stamp or have a concealed carry or do a bunch of forms in order to have a short-barreled rifle or a silencer.
So this is a little bit wild as far as the current ambiguity of what's happening. So first of all, not only am I a FFL in class 3 and SOT and all those things like that, and my wife would actually, believe it or not, would actually be able to explain some of these things better than me. She runs the shop, she does all those things, which, by the way, if you need gear, go to ParamountTactical.com. It's what supports this channel.
Actually, let me pull that up on the screen, because I have it here. I have it also in the description, guys. So if you want to go over to ParamountTactical.com, this is the website. They have handgun courses, medical courses, survival courses, and a shop. So all this, you can get over there on Paramount Tactical.
We only carry gear that we've personally tested and believe in, and again, all of our courses, most of our instructors are former special operations, but regardless.
Very similar to the kit that I was
there's nothing better than Fix It Sticks as far as how easy it is. But anyways, yes, Fix It Sticks, they have a whole bunch of kits. We sell the crap out of them. They're great tools. So yeah, look, at the end of the day, basically what was determined was like, hey, first and foremost, what happened was the Trump administration, who's been extremely aggressive with 2A rights. Like, I don't think that a lot of people understand what's actually happening behind the scenes. They basically said that FRTs are not force reset triggers, are not machine guns, bump stocks are no longer machine guns. And then what they did was do away with the tax stamp fee, which was $200 to register a short barrel rifle, a AOW, short barrel shotgun, and or a suppressor. And Gun Owners of America took this lawsuit and said, hey, you know what? If there's no tax, this is no longer a tax, because this is not a gun law. This is basically a legislation into tax saying, hey, this isn't a Second Amendment issue because all we're doing is taxing these things, right?
Yeah.
So that's how they kind of get away with that, which is total BS.
Well, that's how they get away with all gun laws, right? They're rules. They're rules imposed by a bureaucracy, not laws. But go ahead.
And unfortunately, so here's another element to this. Fortunately or unfortunately, and this is kind of a double-edged sword, is that suppressors, which I do not think are firearms, the Supreme Court, or maybe it was a federal court, don't quote me on that, one of the two decided that they are indeed firearms. Now, that sucks in that we can't just go in there and buy them right off the bat without any sort of 4473 or legal transfer process. The benefit of that is that they do fall into the Second Amendment. We're saying, hey, this device is protected by the Second Amendment. So they're good and bad with that. So basically what they're saying now is, hey, because it's not a tax stamp, and because there's no longer a tax associated with this tax law, that, hey, we can transfer these just like you can a normal firearm.
Yeah.
Which makes perfect sense.
Now, here's instant or 3-day wait. If you don't have a license to carry, the way it works in Texas, you might get I got an hour delay on the last one I got. By the way, I forgot to mention, I don't know if you can see it in the background here, but I won a Tipman Ordnance pirate pistol. Have you seen those?
Sweet.
Have you seen those?
I haven't seen them.
Hold on, I'm gonna lose the loot. I'm gonna lose YouTube. I don't care.
You might get a strike on YouTube, just so you know. They don't mess around with that.
This thing is ridiculous. So every time I do these webinars, I always go for the novelty.
Now, Zach, just so you know, because this happened to me, you might get a strike and get banned from streaming.
No, I'm just
YouTube.
gonna cut.
Okay.
I'm just gonna